You know that feeling, right? Drowning in a sea of options, just paralyzed because you've never really learned how to get crystal clear? And while you're standing there hesitating, well, your moments, your opportunities, they're just slipping by. Okay, let's really dive into this. That quote, it's not just for some dramatic effect. It's the whole heart of what we're talking about today. See, real success isn't about what you have. It's about how you think. It's a very specific framework for making decisions that separates the people who act from the people who are just, well, always stuck. So let's get one thing straight right off the bat. This is where so many people get it twisted. They think being high value is all external. The car, the watch, the number in the bank account. But listen, that's just the result. The actual source of that value, it's all internal. It's a mindset. Think of it like this. The real leverage you have in life isn't money. It's your mental framework. Your ability to think critically, and maybe even more importantly, to just make a clear decision. That's the engine that creates everything else. These are the tools that build empires, not the other way around.
You know, the reason most people never even get off the starting line is what I call the overthinking trap. You've got 50 different ideas, 100 what-ifs, a million reasons why something might not work out. You're just swimming in all these possibilities, but you're so paralyzed by the sheer volume of it all that you never actually pull the trigger on a single one. So how in the world do we break free from that? Well, it takes a fundamental shift in your mind. You literally need to change the entire operating system your mind is running on. And a really powerful way to picture this is to think of your mind kind of like a computer. And I want you to be really honest with yourself and ask this question, seriously. Think about how you handle problems, ideas, worries. Are you just collecting them and letting them pile up, or are you actually doing something with them? This one distinction, it's everything. So this breakdown shows the two paths perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the storage drive. It just collects worries, what-ifs, all this heavy data. It focuses on all the clutter, and you know what the outcome is? Inaction. Nothing happens. But then you look on the right, you've got the processor. This thing is built for function. It takes in the data, runs a calculation, and spits out an output, a decision. It's all about clarity and getting results. Let's look a little closer at this storage drive idea. It's a totally passive state, right? It's like a computer that has a massive hard drive, but a tiny little CPU. It's collecting endless files of fear and doubt, but the second it's time to actually do something, the whole system just freezes up. Total overload. Now compare that to the processor. This mindset is active. It doesn't just let that data sit there and collect dust. It sees information as fuel for a calculation. Its entire purpose is to convert that fuel into a clear output, a decision that lets you move forward. Okay, theory is great, but let's make this real. How does this framework actually play out in the real world? Let's use the example of wanting to start a new business. Okay, look at this flow here. The input, that's the same for everybody. Worries, doubts, your friends telling you it's a terrible idea. Now the storage drive path takes that data and just stores it. The file gets heavier and heavier until the system just crashes into inaction. But the processor path, totally different. It takes the exact same input, but it analyzes it and it runs the calculation. The output isn't paralysis, it's a decision, a yes or a no, a go or a no-go. The crucial point is it moves. And this is the ultimate payoff. A processor mindset is your system for breaking out of that endless loop of doubt and what-ifs. It's basically designed to destroy overthinking by forcing a conclusion, creating a clear path forward instead of just letting you run around in circles. This question right here is the one thing that separates the two mindsets. The storage drive is completely obsessed with what if I fail? But the processor, it's focused on what is. What is the very next logical step to move this thing forward? That simple shift in questioning is the leverage that the top 1% use. They're not necessarily smarter, they just process things faster because they're asking better, more functional questions. So all of this brings us to you. Because this explainer isn't just about giving you information, it's about putting it to use. So I'm giving you a direct challenge based on everything we've just covered. It's time to make the move. I want you to pick one area where you've been stuck. Maybe it's that fitness goal you can't seem to get started on, a career move you keep putting off, that difficult conversation you're avoiding, or some business idea that's just collecting dust. For the next 24 hours, stop storing and start processing. Take all the data you already have, analyze it, and force yourself to make one single, clear decision about the very next logical step.
not the whole 10-year plan, just the next step.
So here's the bottom line. Your future isn't determined by the options you have, but by the decisions you make. Are you going to keep being a storage drive, just collecting dust and doubts? Or are you ready to become a processor and start creating results? The choice, as always, is yours.